Welcome to today's episode of setting up a live MT4 account and being able to trade the financial markets, including Forex, commodities, index markets, and metals as well. Clicking the link below in the description will take you to a lead form, which basically you just pop in your details. So I'll click that now. It'll open up the page. And basically all you do is go through, fill out your information, so first name, last name, email address, create a password, select the country that you're from, adding in the country code and phone number, select your account currency, which is often USD, but depends where you're actually coming from. The type of account, I would probably just stick to classic, and then leverage is up to you. General leverage is 1:100. Or if you want a lot more leverage or 5 times the normal leverage, you can go the 1:500 or anything in between. So selecting that and then reviewing the terms and conditions. Obviously you want to make sure that it's all right for you. So you can right click and open a new tab if you wish. And obviously you just want to read what's required of you. So as you understand the KYC or the Know Your Customer requirements, every broker does need to have your details and know who you are and that kind of thing to avoid things like money laundering and activities that are not ideal in the finance space or illegal activities. So they need to do their checks and that kind of thing. So you do need to submit some ID and answer some questions as well. So you'll need to tick that box and then hit submit. So I'm just going to fill out my details now and I'll show you where that takes you. So I've hit submit and it's taken me to a thank you page. And basically what that means is I've got to now go to the email address that I've just used, hit the confirmation email, and we'll see where it takes us from there. I should have my login credentials and then I should be able to download the MT4. So I can see the email has come through. And I'm just going to click the link. So it just says verify your email address and create a wallet. And that's just loading up a new page now. We'll see where that takes us. It already exists. So I have done this before, but I'm just taking you through the process so you know what to do. You may need to go to your emails to also get a code when you log in future. So I've just gone and done that. And I'm going to copy and paste that code and sign in. And here we go, we're in the dashboard. Now, it's a pretty good looking dashboard. It's still pending approval, so we're just waiting on a few things to come through. We've got my performance, today's close profit and loss, free margin profitability, and I've obviously got to upload my KYC documents and complete my profile. So I'm going to go into that and just show you what's required. So proof of identity, this is standard across every broker that I've ever seen. And basically you either need something like your driver's license, a national ID card, passports, that kind of thing. So it's got to have a photo ID. It can't just be, for example, a birth certificate. It's got to contain a photo, full name and date of birth. And some forms of ID don't include the photo, which is really important for the KYC process. Next up, you also need a proof of address. It's got to be within 3 months from the current day that you're sending it. So it's got to be kind of recent. And it's got to include your current residential address that you've signed up for. Often that can be something like a phone bill, a utility bill such as electricity, internet. Bank statement can also work. So for example, if you've got online banking, you go and set your account up. If you have moved recently, it's sometimes the quickest way to get your new address up to date, and a document sent to you is with your bank. So you go online, update your address and that kind of thing, and then request a statement via your online portal. And that for me has been one of the quickest ways, rather than waiting around for the next bill to come. You can go into your bank and actually set it up if you have recently moved and don't have a current bill. So proof of identity, remember it's got to have the photo and your full name and date of birth as per the instructions. Proof of address, so that can be as mentioned a bank statement, which if you've just moved, you can update the address. Or obviously if you've got current bills and you've been there for a while, you'll probably have a statement from a phone company, electricity company, or even a rental agreement can work as well. So that can form a proof of address, and I have used a rental agreement or a deed to the property as well. So just depending on what your situation is, and then you can obviously deposit using Bitcoin. So I'll just check what that's all about. So you've got different currencies and fees. You can enter the amount and then USD, and then that will deposit the funds. In order to get the platform, I'm going to check the download center. That should have the MT4, which it does. I'm just going to click that and show you the process of what actually happens. So it's downloaded to my files. If you don't see it pop up on your browser, you can go into your Microsoft Explorer, or if you're on Apple, I'm not sure how that works exactly, but basically the same concept. You go to where your downloads normally go to in a file or a folder, and then you simply open or run. It'll ask you, is it okay to do it? I'll just go yes. And then same as any other broker, you just hit next, wait for it to kind of load through the process. And that takes a little while. You will see a browser pop up after this, and it'll just take you to the MQL website. You can just close that off. You don't need it. I'm not sure why it does take you there every time you set up a MT4 account. It's a bit of a pain. So when I go finish, it'll pop up with this web page. Just close it off. It's just the official platform's website. So I've closed it off, and I'm just going to now wait. It's opening up now. And we've got the platform, as you can see on the screen here. Now, you can go through the trade servers and that sort of thing on here, but I generally just like to close that off and then just log in using the details that they've given me. So give me one moment, I'll come back with the details and log in. Now, to find your information, I thought it would have been emailed to you, but it hasn't been sent to me. So I'm going to go into my accounts up the top here in the portal, and here's my login and information. So I'm just going to click on details over here, overview, and it takes me into the section. You can also click the account number, which does take you into the same area. I'm just going to copy and paste the account number and use the same password that I used to sign up and see if that works. When you log in, I like to use the journal tab to see what's actually going on in terms of the login. It says connect failed, invalid account. So that means that and you can also see down here, it's got the red invalid account little message, it hasn't connected. So I'm just going to troubleshoot this and try and find out what the password and the details are of my account. Now I'm going to actually reset the password because I don't recall setting one up for this account. And now I'm going to go check my email, as it says here, to reset the password. So I've been given a password now, and in order to log in, I'm going to right click the accounts tab here and then log into trade account. My account number is already there. I'm just going to paste the password in. Sometimes pasting doesn't work, so you may have to retype it if this doesn't work. So we'll give it a go, hit login. And we're in the journal tab, taking note of the timestamp of the recent failed connection, and it looks like it has worked. So you'll hear that noise basically telling you that it's worked. It'll take you to the mailbox, and you can see the trade tab and account history pop up now as well. So when you're having troubles with your platform, always use the journal because it does tell you what's actually going on. I can see the ping and other information as well. So we've got a lot of charts and things going on. I'm just going to give a brief overview of how it all works and tidy it up a little bit. So I'm going to start by just closing off all the other charts. You only really need one. So I've hit the square on that to make it big and take up the whole trading section. I've only got one chart. Now I'm going to quickly tidy up the chart so it doesn't look so full on. So I'm going to right click anywhere in the space, but not on a indicator, because that will bring up a little menu like that. So we don't want this. We actually want to just right click anywhere in the space and go properties, or press F8 on the keyboard. I like to have green for the bar up. So you can either select a color or just type in green. For example, I like red for bar down, green for bull candle, red for bear candle, and basically that's the fill and that's the outline. And the rest I can pretty much just happily leave, and then I'll go over to common and check the settings here. We want candlesticks, I'm happy with that. I do like to see the ask line because that shows me the spread visually, and sometimes if you get into a trade and there's a large spread, your entry will be quite poor and you'll be well behind the 8 ball, and perhaps if you did see the ask line so far away from where the bid is, you may not actually enter that trade if you can visually see it. So it's just a good little safeguard about understanding what the spread is, and I'll talk about that shortly. So show grid, I just want to turn the grid off. I don't actually like that being on because it disrupts the view. I'm just going to hit OK, and that's cleaned the chart up quite a bit. One thing I do want to add is indicators. I just want to add some Bollinger Bands. Now over in the navigator section, Control N to open or close this area. You go indicators, hit the little plus. Bollinger Bands is under trend, so I'll hit the plus again to expand that out again, and we've got Bollinger Bands here. I'm just going to click and drag. You'll see the little square underneath the mouse or the rectangle, and drop it into the chart area. Going to change it to 2.6 deviations, keep the period as 20, apply to the close. I like to make the Bollinger Bands yellow and a little bit thicker just so I can see where everything is, and I'm just going to hit OK, and we have Bollinger Bands on the chart. Indicators are, while they're lagging, they do provide a good and easy visual representation of where price sits in comparison to previous pricing. So it helps the mind understand where pricing is. Euro USD, for example, is a default one here. We're on the 4-hour chart and we've got open, high, low, close pricing for the current candle. If I want to change the time frame, I can go 5 minutes. So there's M5 up here, so that's each candle is 5 minutes. I can change it to H1 or 1 hour, and it just changes how much time passes for each candle and the price that moves within it. It just looks a bit different, and obviously different time frames have different weightings and different styles of trade that can go with them. If you do want to trade something else, so you don't want to trade the Euro USD, you can go up to the Market Watch, Control M to toggle it on and off of your platform. I'm just going to spread that out a little bit. I just want to be able to see the symbol that we're actually looking at. So I'm going to go the Euro Yen, so Euro JPY. I'm just going to grab it, so click down, pull it across, and that's now on the chart. So as we can see up here, Euro Yen, and we can see the price is obviously very different. I can change the time frame if I want, and if I want to place a trade, I can either use an order ticket via the new order section, press F9 to bring that up, or click on the new order button, or alternatively, if you are reasonably confident with what you're doing, use one-click trading and just use these buttons up here. So one full lot is 100,000 units of whatever that currency pair is, depending on obviously the settings of that symbol that you're trading. So I'm just going to change this to 0.01. So I'm reducing the volume. This represents how much volume you're placing into the market. And I'm just going to, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to hit buy, and a window will pop up saying, do you want to turn on one-click trading, because this isn't going to work straight away. I'm going to hit buy. one-click trading. There's a disclaimer here, and you accept the terms. And basically what this means is that if you click a button, it can open or close a trade. So you really want to know what you're doing with the platform before you start running with one-click trading, and I'll show you how to turn it off if you accidentally do it as well. So I'm going to go OK. And now if I did have money in this account already, I would be able to buy or sell, and it would go straight into the market. So for example, I'll click this, it'll open a trade as soon as I click it. Alternatively, if you want to set a particular trade up with stop losses in place, so for example, I might have a market entry. I want the stop loss to be 160, and I want the take profit to be 165, and then it's a market execution. So because the stop loss is below the market and the take profit is above, so I want it to go up, which means that's a buy trade. So buy is go up, sellers go down. Also noting that you can sell a market without already owning it, and it's called shorting the market. So if you think a market is going to go down, you can simply sell and look for profits to the downside if you think the market is going down. So if I were to hit buy now, that would actually place. If I were to hit sell, there would be an error come up. Invalid SL or TP, you'd hear a noise. I'll show you how to turn that off shortly as well. So if I was to hit buy, it'll say no, not enough money, because there's no money in this account just yet. I'll show you how to turn off one-click trading. So we go up to Tools, Options, Trade. So you want to go to the Trade tab, and then here's one-click trading. You can turn that off if you're not confident with using the platform. And if you are new to it, you don't want to make a mistake that's going to be potentially very costly. And that can really happen in the Forex markets. You need to have a reasonable idea of what you're doing. So you can turn that off and just hit OK, and then it will not allow you to simply place a trade. Noting that it will give you that pop-up, and you'll have to make sure you turn it off if you do accidentally do it. Turn it back on, it comes up with this disclaimer again. I'm just going to do that because I am confident with how it all works, and that's fine. Now, if the sounds annoy you and you've got other sounds and videos and that sort of thing playing on your computer, you don't want to hear these connect and disconnect and placing trades and closing trades. You can turn the noises off by going to Events and then simply click Enable to untick the box, and that'll turn off all the noises for the platform. I'm just going to hit OK, and now I've got a quiet and clean chart set up which I can now trade on. Any trades you do place show up down here. Below the line will be pending orders, or orders that are not currently in the market and can be closed without a loss or a profit, obviously. And above the line, so in between the order and the balance, orders will come through that are in the market, and you'll be able to see the profit going up and down as the market moves. Whereas below the line, there won't be any profit there because they're waiting to be executed into the market. So you can cancel those. Whereas if you need to close a trade that's in the market, it's going to close it out inclusive of the profit or loss that's currently showing, and any swap or commission that's added on. To see any trades that you've done in the past, you can go down to Account History, and if there's nothing there but you know you've placed trades, you can right click in the white space and go All History, and that'll show you all of the history of the account. If you're looking for symbols that aren't here, you can right click in the space in the Market Watch or Control M for Market, and you can go Show All. Now that's going to bring up all of the symbols. So all of these are now appeared. So gold, silver, UK, oil USD, very close in pricing, but two different products. We've got crypto here, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple, all versus US dollar, which is the standardized cryptocurrency basis. You've got index markets here to trade, and then you've got some mini contracts here as well. As far as a quick run through, we've pretty much covered a multitude of the basics, how to place a trade and that kind of thing, and obviously how to set up the account. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Any questions, shoot them through, and look forward to getting you set up and running.